I'm David McIntosh, president of the Club for Growth, and we think you should know how the presidential candidates really stand on issues of economic policy. The Club for Growth is the leading organization in the battle for economic freedom. That's why we do research on the policies and records of each of the viable candidates. Do they talk about tax cuts? And then, do they actually vote for tax cuts or sign them into law? Have they voted to cut government spending or to reduce intrusive federal regulations? If a presidential candidate has a record as a state lawmaker who voted for higher taxes or bigger spending, that's the kind of information we want you to know. And we've been doing this research since 2008 with our Club for Growth Presidential White Paper series. Now, our 2016 white papers begin with reports on 3 United States senators who've declared their candidacy for president: Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Marco Rubio. The Club for Growth endorsed each of them as Senate candidates because of their commitment and record of pro-growth policies.
I think the simplest and best tax reform, we should abolish the IRS.
In order to change our course, we must reverse this trend towards big government. We must end corporate welfare, crony capitalism, and the limits on choice that stifle competition in education.
We have to repeal and replace Obamacare. You can't fix Obamacare. It can't be fixed. It has to be repealed, and it has to be replaced with something that allows every single American to buy the health care coverage that they want at a price they can afford from any company in America in any state in the country that's willing to sell it to you.
The Club for Growth white papers provide comprehensive details about where presidential candidates stand and how they voted on taxes, spending, entitlement reform, government regulations, school choice, and more. You'll see where we agree and in some cases disagree with their votes and policies. But most of all, you'll have the details and the voting records to decide for yourself. That's why the Club for Growth Presidential White Paper Series is a respected and quoted resource in presidential campaigns.
Show me where you exercise fiscal discipline, sir.
As the Club for Growth pointed out yesterday in the report they did on me, I ran probably one of the most fiscally conservative governments in the last 30 or 40 years.
The Club for Growth, another conservative think tank, wrote this about Governor Huckabee. The Club for Growth is adamant. They say he raised taxes 5 times, a gas tax increase in '99, cigarette tax hike, tax increases in '04, a tax on beer, a tax on nursing homes. That's a tough record to sell to a Republican audience in primary states.
Number 2, the Club for Growth looked at our respective spending record. They said my spending grew 2.2% a year, yours grew 2.8% a year.
We hope you'll read and share our Club for Growth white papers on Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Rand Paul, and Senator Marco Rubio. We believe each of them would be a strong, pro-growth president. We'll have more white papers as candidates announce. I invite you to join the Club for Growth at our website, clubforgrowth.org, and we'll send you updates on the release of each paper.